vegetarians. Hello everyone, Mr. Daydream here. Welcome to the show. This has really been bothering me for some time now. No, I'm not talking about overpriced college books. No, it's how people view vegetarians and the reactions or comments they give them. Now, I'm gonna make this clear. I am a vegetarian, and I know it really shouldn't be that shocking or anything, but the reactions I get from some people make it seem like it is. Also, I want to apologize for not making a video in a while. I've been busy moving out, going through things I want to keep or get rid of, moving boxes and furniture to my apartment that's on the 3rd floor. But enough about that. As a vegetarian, let's get on with the rant, or should I say, a vegetarian rant. Over the years, I've gotten all kinds of different reactions from people when I tell them I'm a vegetarian. It really shouldn't be that big of a deal, right? I mean, it's just a simple choice of how we prefer to eat food. Simple as that. But oh boy, that's only the case half the time, so I'm gonna talk about the other half. Here are 5 annoying responses people give me just because I tell them I'm a vegetarian. So let's begin. I get this one a lot. It usually happens when friends or coworkers offer you something to eat, and for me, 95% of the time, that food they offer always involves meat. To which I would respond with, "No thanks, I'm a vegetarian."
Really? I did not know that.
Okay, first of all, vegetarians are common. You don't have to act that surprised. Second, it's just an eating preference. That's it. It's not like I said I donated a kidney to save a person's life, or I'm the son of this famous actor, or I have some skeletons in my closet. But I have to admit, it is rather amusing to get a reaction like this, just because I tell them I'm a vegetarian. But what really bugs me about this is that I never seem to get this reaction to things I feel like are more impressive than choosing not to eat meat.
I was raised in Denmark for over 10 years, and I can actually speak their language. Really? That's cool. I have finally gotten my own truck. That's neat. I have earned not 1, but 2 associate's degrees in college at the same time. That's really interesting. I'm also a vegetarian. Really? I did not know that. How long have you been a vegetarian? What made you decide to become one? Were you raised as one?
Like, ugh, come on. This one's just, ugh. It's when people feel the need to tell you that meat is the best thing in life, and that you're an oblivious, close-minded person to think otherwise. They'll be saying things like,
"You don't eat meat? Dude, you're missing out, man. How can you live life without steak? You should totally try it out sometime."
Shut up, I hate that. Like, don't try to make it sound like it's a mistake I will regret later on. The worst part is when they're so persistent, like no matter how many times you say no. It reminds me of those PSAs where you see teens smoking and there's that one little kid that just walks by and the teens are like, "Hey, kid, you want to try this cigarette out?" And, "I don't know. I heard smoking's bad for you." Come on, kid. Just one puff. One puff is all I ask. You want to be cool, don't you? "Oh, but my mom has always told me never to try those things." But your mom's not around here. She'll never know. Come on, just try it. Like, just shut up. Just stop. I said no once. Don't make me say it at least 5 more times. It's my decision not to eat meat. Mind your own business, will ya? And before you say some generic life lesson like, "No, I'm not gonna tell you tried, Mr. Daydream," I have eaten meat before, and I really don't see the appeal to it. I mean, it's okay, but I prefer not to eat it. As if I were to eat a hamburger and get some overly dramatic reaction like,
"Oh my god. Is this what meat tastes like? It's good. Delicious even. I can't believe it. Is this what I've been missing out all these years? I've been a complete fool. I should have listened.
Never mind, it's not really that great. I bet there are foods out there that you prefer not to eat. The same reason why you don't eat those types of food, the same reason can be applied to me not wanting to eat meat. Simple as that. Let's get on with the next one. This is another thing I've noticed that gets really annoying. It's when people assume that vegans and vegetarians are the same thing. First of all, no, they're not. They're not. I mean, come on, they're even spelled differently. Do you really think that these two different words mean the same thing? Well, to be fair, vegan does look like a shortened version of vegetarian, so I guess I can see the misconception there. To make it perfectly clear to everyone out there, the main difference between vegans and vegetarians is that while we both don't eat meat, vegetarians eat dairy products and eggs, whereas vegans do not. Basically, vegans don't eat anything that comes from an animal, even if they are things the animal didn't die for. But for vegetarians, as long as the animal didn't die for the food it has produced, then we're perfectly fine with eating those kinds of food. We just don't eat meat because it involves killing the animal. Simple as that. Now I know that some people are gonna say something like,
"But chickens are born from eggs and you're eating them. You're still eating meat, you idiotic veggie-loving hypocrite."
For those who don't know, quick lesson. Chickens are only born from eggs that have been fertilized, which involve a rooster. If you don't have a rooster, the eggs that the chickens have produced will never be fertilized. Those are the kinds of eggs they sell at the grocery store. Non-fertilized eggs will never hatch. They will only go bad. I definitely know this because my parents have chickens. Hello, yo. But anyways, I just wanted to clarify this whole vegan-vegetarian thing because I've had a number of people tell me things like,
So you don't eat any dairy products either? What do you use as a substitute for butter? Margarine? I saw you eating a bean burrito the other day. That has cheese in it. I thought you said you were vegetarian.
cut it out, will ya? I didn't say I'm a vegan. I said I'm a vegetarian. Vegetarian. We do eat dairy products and eggs. Vegans do not. Know the difference, please. Boy, I'm getting really angry in this video. This one just sounds stupid. It's when people say something like,
You're a vegetarian? If you don't eat meat, then what do you eat?
oh, it's quite simple, really. Vegetables, fruits, bread, dairy products, eggs. Seriously, why do people think that meat is the only food available? Have you not noticed these other foods in the food pyramid? You know, the ones that take up 80% of the entire thing? Like, I just don't understand. There are many types of food out there, and yet I get people who are genuinely confused with what I eat. Is it because meat is always seen as the main course of any meal, whereas things such as soups and salads are seen as appetizers and that they're not very filling? Well, they are filling if you eat enough of it. There are foods out there that are quite filling but don't involve meat, such as cheese pizza, pasta, grilled cheese, sandwiches, french fries, mac and cheese. I could keep going on. I could sure go for some fries right now. But besides that, have you heard of substitutions? That's right. There are vegetarian burgers, vegetarian hot dogs, almost anything. Tofurkey? What the heck? There's an entire small section of this stuff at your local grocery store. Have people just not paid any attention to it? Well, what could those substitutions be made of that doesn't involve meat? Well, plenty of things. The most common things I've seen are soybeans and tofu. There are other ingredients, but basically they're made with anything but meat. There's also another question I get that gets really old really fast, and it usually comes from people who don't bother doing research, and that question is,
Where do you get protein if you don't eat meat?
meat is not the only food that has protein. I mean, sure it has plenty of it, but it's not exclusive to just meat. There are wheat, eggs, almonds, walnuts, peanut butter, various types of beans, and more. Meat is not the only food that has protein. There are other ways. So keep that in mind next time. This is the one I hate the most. After you tell someone that you're a vegetarian, you're bound to get some questions. Fair enough. But it's when you get questions like these that really tick me off.
Are you allergic to meat? Is that why you're a vegetarian?
No.
Do you choose to become a vegetarian because your parents forced you to?
No.
Are you part of some religion that doesn't allow you to eat meat?
No.
Huh.
You see where this is going? It's when people just can't accept the fact that you're a vegetarian. So they'll go out of their way and ask specific questions that would totally explain why you're a vegetarian. It can't be because of a simple life choice you've made yourself, whether it be to live a healthier lifestyle or because you love animals. No. There has to be a solid reason why you became a vegetarian against your own will.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Now look, there are people out there who became vegetarians because of things like religion, allergies, or whatever, but to think that those are the only reasons why anyone wants to become a vegetarian is just stupid. I was raised to be a vegetarian. My mom didn't force me to become one. I could eat meat if I wanted to, and ever since I was a kid, I loved animals, which is pretty much the main reason why I remain a vegetarian to this day. It's not because I was forced to, it's not because I have allergies, and it's certainly not because of some religion. It's really ridiculous when you think about it. There are people out there who are baffled as to why I don't eat meat, and instead of accepting it, they feel the need to ask me specific questions. That's it. They're making a big deal about me not eating a type of food.
Like, imagine if someone orders a salad and they ask for no tomatoes. Then the cashier starts saying things like,
Oh, you don't eat tomatoes? Why not? Are you allergic to them? Are you part of some religion that doesn't allow you to eat tomatoes? Did a tomato kill your family?
You see, it's like that. I don't eat meat, I love animals, I like my healthy lifestyle, and I prefer to remain a vegetarian. So just accept that, will you? There's one last thing I want to talk about. It's not as common as some of the other reactions I get. In fact, it's very rarely I get this type of reaction, but I feel like I should talk about it anyway. Listen, don't assume that all vegetarians hate people who eat meat. That's bogus, hogwash even. There probably are vegetarians out there who will hate you for eating meat, but don't go thinking that all vegetarians think the same. Pretty much all my friends eat meat, and yet I don't care. It's how they choose to live. Just because they eat a certain food that I don't, doesn't mean I can never be friends with them. Like what, you think that vegetarians can only be friends with vegetarians? That's like saying people who love baseball can only be friends with people who love baseball. You see how ridiculous that is?
I certainly find it ridiculous.
I grew up in Denmark, and you may not know this, but vegetarians are quite rare in that country. Not to mention, as a kid, I was extremely shy and had a hard time trying to socialize with people. If I went with the approach of making friends with just vegetarians who are around my age, with my shy nature, I would be the loneliest kid on the block, possibly the entire country. We can all be friends. Just make sure you have something for us to eat when you invite us over to a barbecue party. Well, that's a huge load off my chest. Well, actually, hold on. Okay, that's even better. I just feel the need to make a video expressing my frustration about this whole vegetarian thing. Glad you stayed. Hopefully vegetarians will be treated better after this video. Or who knows, maybe not, I don't know. People are weird and unpredictable at times, which is rich coming from someone like me. If you would like to become a vegetarian, take my advice. Don't be like those people who do it just to get attention on social media, only to go back eating meat a few weeks later. You're a lousy vegetarian if you do that. It's supposed to be a life choice, not a diet. There should be a word for those kinds of people. Oh yeah, I got it. Peditarian. You're a peditarian if you bring so much praise and attention to your life choice, only to bail out on that decision, especially if you do it prematurely. In conclusion, you can eat whatever you want, whichever suits you best. If you love eating meat, that's fine. Don't let a big-nosed freak like me tell you what you can and cannot eat. It's your life. Live it the way you want. But anyways, thanks for watching. I hope to see you again. And remember to eat your vegetables. Hi.